Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Darren Tang, and today we have another tier list for you guys. We have brand new releases throughout 2023, and we are going to be ranking them accordingly to what is very subjective to myself. Before we get started, though, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, because these are the videos that are the most watched on the channel. So if you guys have any ideas for future tier lists, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you are subscribed if you guys are not already, because you don't want to miss a thing, and might as well smash that notification bell so you can be one of the first to watch these videos. Now let's give the rundown on our tier list categories. At the top, we have the nut. Now, if you guys are newer to this channel or you're just seeing a video of mine for the first time, when we split the 8-9, 10 back, flush shot, it's the nut. You know, we nutted a shot, it's the nut. When you have great ball reaction, it's the nut. Top of the list, God tier bowling balls, the nut, God, nut, same thing. Category number 2, we have the rice bowl, a staple in Asian cuisine. I am Asian, it's only appropriate that bowling balls that belong in the bag are in the rice bowl category. And moving on to category number 3, we got the thumbs up. Good bowling ball, but may not make the bag if we only have 6 balls going to a tournament, but certainly if we can bring more than that, let's go. Now, category number 4 is a car. Now, what could that mean? When we're going to tournaments, when we're driving, we can bring as many bowling balls as we want. They may not be the first ones into the building, but they are coming with us regardless. They could be niche bowling balls. They could be bowling balls that are specialty trick layout, something that's just not a viable option all the time, but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And then the last category is the eyeballs category, are bowling balls that I've seen go down the lane, haven't personally thrown myself, so I cannot give an accurate description, I guess, of whatever bowling balls we're talking about at the time. Now, let's get started. I tried to order these bowling balls in chronological order off of memory, so if they're not exactly perfect, then I'm sorry. Before we actually start the list, we've got new drops. Link in the description below. League Night merch. I Hate League hats. We got nut hats. That's a new design. Nut shirts. If you're with the nut movement, if you are a God tier bowler, or you want to be, you gotta have a nut shirt. But we have all kinds of other products as well. Feel free to surf the website and pick and choose as you please. So we're gonna get started here with, I'm gonna start with the absolute, because A is the beginning of the alphabet, and it's actually the first ball that released this year. Absolute! Where does that belong? Honestly, I did not have super high hopes for this ball when it came out. I wasn't really sure where it would fit. We shot the ball video. I was like, I don't know when I would throw this, but as the tour season progressed, I threw it actually quite a bit. It was really good after that urethane transition, you know, get that slop down lane, balls don't really want to hook, but this ball, pretty clean cover, decently strong core, floated through the fronts pretty nice. Read the middle of the lane more often than not before that slop down lane, so it shaped really good. I actually like it a lot. I just don't throw it very often, but when I did, it was really good. So I'm gonna have to go thumbs up. Not a staple in my bag, just because it feels a little more niche. I do think this is a great league option. The whole idea behind this ball is so you could play a little further right with a stronger bowling ball, and that's why it has such a weak cover, so you can play further right, but it's got that strong core that wants to pick up real nice. Thumbs up for the absolute. I probably should drill another one. Moving on, we have the Revenant. Revenant was a tricky one for me because it was always in that spot where I can still throw something in the middle, but if I need to ball down, I'm probably gonna end up in a high road type ball anyways, so I would just skip over it. So this one also felt very niche. I do think it's a good ball. I'm kind of on the fence. It's like a thumbs up kind of car type ball. It's a ball that I would bring with me. It wouldn't be one of the 6 balls that goes into the bowling center first, like a staple category type ball, but I still think it's a thumbs up. I really like how it rolls. It's a clean, smooth ball, and that's not really something that we have very often. And maybe that's not something that we utilized enough on tour, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because I do think it's better than what it seems. We just didn't really give it a chance. Clean and smooth, but just makes a lot of sense. That seems like the kind of equipment that worked on tour this year, so I don't know why I didn't throw this more often. Next ball, Eternity. These couple of balls coming up are, I think, the second batch of releases that came out this year. It's looking like we have 2 balls a month kind of trend going. We'll have plenty of content, especially for the monthly bag update for you guys moving forward. Eternity, I think, is a staple in the bag. It's just that Pearl ASIM ball that it was a replacement for the Ultra Reality, which I liked a lot, but at times that ball was kind of strong. Eternity's just a touch weaker, so I like that a lot. It's a little more usable. I could use it longer throughout the block. I've put up some pretty big blocks this year with the Eternity. It's going in a staple. It's a ball. It's a no-brainer for me. I just throw it in the bag. We go. And moving on, we have TNT. Those of you that watched the ball video, that might have been the worst TNT that I have drilled, unfortunately. After that, I drilled a handful on tour. I just drilled another one. I think it's a really good piece if you need something controllable in that symmetric slot. Pretty strong cover. Actually, really strong cover, really strong core, so those paired together, it's gonna blend out the lane quite nicely. Not gonna be great when the lanes are hooking a ton because it's gonna probably burn up and just go straight, but this is a thumbs up ball for me for sure. There are just other balls that I like better in the staple category, so it's not gonna make the Rice Bowl, but again, I put up a pretty big block on Cheetah, I think, at the World Series and had some good success with it, so that was my one and only check at the World Series. So TNT, another thumbs up ball. DNA. DNA is another pretty niche ball for me. It's got a seemingly weaker cover than a lot of our other big asymmetric balls like Gem and Reality. I would say it's a slight step down. Strong, smooth, but a little cleaner. It's like a cleaner smooth ball. See, we have a trend going. We got Absolute, clean, smooth. We have Revenant, clean, smooth. We have DNA, clean, smooth. This is another thumbs up ball. I had my highest finish of the year, 10th in Wichita, using this ball. I went pretty nuts one block. Dialed that one in at a good tournament. But anyways, DNA, I think it's a sleeper ball. Kind of dark horse good. Now we're moving on into one of my favorite types of balls of all time. We have the IQ Ruby. I always had to have an IQ Tour Pearl in my bag. Whether it was the gold ball, whether it was the 30th anniversary, whether it was the emerald. Now it's the Ruby. And the Ruby, I feel like, lands right in between the gold one and the green one. And it makes sense to me. Let me explain why. The pigments make a difference. The brighter it is, the stronger the ball. The red one, the shade of red, it's right in between the gold and the green. So naturally, it should fit right in between, right? I actually like it a lot because at times the gold ball kind of stood up and went forward a little too fast, which is very uncharacteristic of a low RG, low differential bowling ball. This is a nut ball for sure for me. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Shelf appeal, it smells good, strikes a lot. It's controllable, it's clean. And moving on, we have the Electrify BSY, black, silver, and yellow. If anybody was wondering why Electrifies have these acronyms at the end, that's just the colors. I only threw this in the ball video. I'm honestly gonna go with this one. I don't even really know where this thing belongs because it wasn't my favorite. I was also going through a fit change phase that I didn't commit to. I don't think this ball got a fair assessment, so I'm gonna put it in the eyeball category just because I don't really know when I would use it. I honestly haven't really seen anybody throw it. I'm not gonna lie, I think this ball was a dud. I'm not supposed to say stuff like that about our bowling balls, but that's just kind of the case. That's how it turned out. I thought the colors looked really cool, but rip. Electrify BSY. Next ball is a plastic ball. I think it's a blend, kind of a mix-ish deal, but on the Roto Grip side, it's the Roto Grip spare ball. I think it's a really cool looking spare ball. I kind of want one just to have. I've only seen it go down the lane. It just looks beautiful going down the lane. I personally haven't thrown one, and I don't really have a lot to say about a ball that's designed for spares. Not saying it's a spare ball because some people out there will be throwing it as a strike ball. Next up, we have Summits. One of the brand new 2 punches in the bag. I actually haven't thrown it a ton in competition, so I can't put it in the nut category, but I do believe it's a really good middle piece, so I'm gonna put this in the staple. You gotta have a strong symmetric ball in there to kind of hold the bag down, you know, the core of your bag. I always believed you should have a strong symmetric ball like Summit Phase 2, and then a strong or middle pearl symmetric ball like one of the balls we have coming up next. Okay, next we have Duo. I only threw this during the ball video as well. This was also during the period of time where my elbow was close to at its worst. Another ball that's not really getting a fair assessment, but I'm putting this one in the car because there are just other bowling balls that I like in that slot better. The pearl symmetric ball. Duo in the car. Ball that came out for a good cause. Quite possibly one of very few bowling balls that raise money for charity. We're gonna give 5 to the Duo, but not a bowling ball that I would think first to put in that slot. Now the next ball, we all know Zen ball good, right? All gold label good. This ball, I think they did all the right things. They made it a touch cleaner than the original. It's a single color pearl purple ball. They added an extra label to make it look like your rev rate's higher. And yes, that is the case. If they put more labels on the ball, it looks like your ball's spinning faster just because there's more things rotating on the ball. Besides the point, gold label, good ball. You know, it's always tough to follow up one that's been really successful in the Zen. I mean, it's got the same block in it, it's just a little weaker, but sometimes you make these little micro adjustments and everything goes haywire. So I'm glad to see the Zen is just what it is. It's Zen ball good. Okay, now we have the Hustles. We got the M&M and the Rip. The Rip, I haven't thrown a lot, honestly, because I'm a little weird right now. I've been going through a lot of changes. Fit changes, my PAP changed. I didn't bowl for 5 weeks, and then after, you know, my elbow has been messed up, so I'm not able to manipulate the ball the way I used to be able to. I don't know if these bowling balls are not rolling great because of me or not rolling great because of them, but I'm not gonna blame the Hustle line because the Hustle line I think is fantastic. I'm gonna put them both in the staple category, but I wouldn't bring them both. They're just here because it's kind of a package deal. It's like one or the other, but they're both, you need something like that in the bag. The tricky part is I wouldn't have an IQ and a hustle in the bag because they have kind of the same idea, low RG, low diff. The hustles are mid RG, which makes them go a little bit longer before they hook, but still low diff, but a little more diff than IQs. That's basically the same. So I would go one or the other. I like the IQ option just because the core's a little stronger, so it wants to spin up a little faster. I can do a little more with that. If I needed to be stronger, I can't really make the hustles stronger. You throw the hustles when they're hooking a lot, then that's kind of the bottom line. Okay, next we have another fairly new release in the Roto Grip Clone. Now, I don't really know why they called it the Clone because I don't think it's anything like the Alert. I don't think the design intent was for it to replace the Alert, so hopefully we have another one that's coming that's going to be closer to the Alert because that ball was quite possibly one of the greatest bowling balls I've ever thrown in my life. I am not off to a good start with the Clone. Not a great first impression for myself. There's just a lot of other bowling balls I would put in the bag before it. We're seeing a trend here. I don't think I'm a fan of bowling balls with this kind of green in it. You know, the Duo is a little bit different, but it's still got that bright green. Clone's got bright green in it. High Road Max had bright green. The original UFO had bright green. I wasn't big on any of those balls. So kind of weird considering my favorite color is green, but I think I would prefer darker green balls for sure. We do have a ball coming up, however, that I like a lot. I did not know what to expect. It's a modified Rubicon core. The diff was almost cut in half. It's almost got urethane diff, which means that this thing wants to hold line for as long as possible. It's going to be smooth, low RG, low diff. It's kind of like an IQ/hustle range core, but I don't think it fits the same thing. Core dynamics is a nut ball for me. I've already got a win with it. It does the right thing. It reminds me of what I used to do to my alpha cruxes, just the shape. I used to just destroy my alphas with surface and drill them really weak. And I kind of see the same thing with this one, but I don't have to drill it weak because that differential's so low already. I'm drilling another one. Okay, Exponent. I like Exponent a lot. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Staple. It is a ball that we've been missing. It's a step down from our middle pieces like Summit Phase 2. Still a solid. Really hoping for a Pearl one to come out, hopefully, sometime within the rest of the year or beginning of next year. I feel like that would be a really, really good option because of the RG numbers. They're just perfect middle RG numbers. I've been loving all the new releases so far. I mean, except for the Clone. I'm sorry. No exception to the next two. I'm really excited for these two. I've thrown them a little bit already. I don't know why the Eternity is so big in this picture. It kind of works because big ASIM ball, you have bigger ball, you know, and Eternity Pi, I didn't really understand why they named it that at first, but Pi goes on for an eternity. I saw that in one of the comments on YouTube and it's like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. But this one's going to be a rice ball. It's going to be a staple in the bag. I typically don't like to have the same core in a 6-ball arsenal. I need to switch it up. I need something different. I'm okay with having one or two of the same covers, but the cores I try to keep different. I don't want to get locked out. You know, if one core isn't rolling so good wherever we are, then that's 2 balls that are out, and I'll have 4 options at that point. If you want to learn more about that stuff, come find me on Twitch. Link in the description below. Ask me questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But Eternity Pi, that's going to be our gem/reality replacement. And I love the colors. It looks just like a Critical Theory. That was one of my favorite balls back in the day when I was a junior bowler. Yeah, Eternity Pi. I love that one. Now, next one, another ball that I absolutely loved was the Virtual Energy. And now we have an all black version. Virtual Energy Blackout. They updated the cover, REX, still clean, still very, I think it's very driller friendly. This is gonna be a nut ball for me because that was one of my favorite balls ever. Shape Lock HD, great core. I don't know what else to say about this ball. It smells good, orange pop, black pearl bowling ball. It just looks good. It rolls phenomenal. It does one of those, I don't know how to describe it. When you throw a bowling ball, it hits the pins and it just kind of sucks into the pocket like a vacuum. You can't beat that. I think it's gonna be a staple in the bag now. So it's great because I just mentioned that I don't like having more than one same core in the bag, and this Energy kind of fills that Eternity slot in terms of type of bowling ball when I would throw it. It is a little weaker than the Eternity, I believe. Thank you for watching. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see something similar, maybe a little different, or if you're just looking forward to the last 2023 tier list for all of Storm bowling balls. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next one.